Hi, good morning, and happy Moon Day. This is our moon energy report for November 15th through the 21st. Can you believe, like, we we are almost at the end of the year. Can you believe it? I'm kind of in shock right now, and I'm kind of in shock that Thanksgiving is next week too. Um, so I just want to start out this video with thanking everyone who reached out to me. There's a cat climbing up my back. Everyone that reached out to me last week. I really appreciate everything that you said and for making me feel not alone. And I'm glad that I was able to make you feel not alone as well. I am feeling much better this week. I'm still not like really 100%. But when the heck have I ever been 100% anyway? So um, I really do thank you. I appreciate you being here, and um, I really do have to admit that it did help to just show up, no matter what state I was in. So if you are in a place where you feel like you just want to hide under the covers and disappear, um, it does at the end feel better and helps you come out of that state. Because it's almost like that, like attracts like thing. Like if you're feeling like all you want to do is hide under the covers and all you do is hide under the covers, then like that's all you're ever going to want to do is hide under the covers. So getting ourselves out of our comfort zone is the way to move forward, no matter how difficult it is. And that's not to say that I don't think that you should hide under the covers when you feel like it. But just remember to come out. So thanks for helping me come out of my uh, cave, dark hole, or whatever you want to call it. I'm still getting there. I am scheduling some doctor's appointments because these specific episodes this month and last month have been totally out of my control. I'm usually able to get through the day, get the things done that I need to get done despite how I'm feeling, but the this felt like very impossible and out of my control. So reach out for help when you need it, and I am going to do the same. Um, but let's get into this week. So here we are on Monday, November 15th. It is a uh, waxing waxing gibbous. I wanted to pull up this app to show you. I hope it will come on. So if you're having trouble coloring in your moon phases, I used green for this week. It's kind of hard to see, but I used green for like the Taurus energy. Um, this app, Deluxe Moon, is really wonderful because you can just flip through it and it goes through the phases if you're needing help to color in your phases. It just has a really great description. It also has, I don't know if you can hear it, it also has classical music in the background. But so we're starting off today in Waxing Gibbous Aries. Waxing is when the light is on the right side of the moon. And gibbous means that it is more than half full. Meaning we've passed the first quarter, which would have been all dark on the left. Whereas crescent is when it's less than half full. So crescent would be when the light is only over here. We'll be experiencing that in the waning phases. So today we are in Aries. Aries season is at the beginning of spring, when everything's bursting to life. So it's all about action. Oh, there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about with mental health. And the reason I have not cleaned up my office, I don't know if you can see behind me, the total destruction that I walked into this morning. And now she's destroying more. She got a hold of a whole roll of paper towels and has just been like shredding it to pieces. Um, but I just like to point out that I find that my mental health is reflected in the state of my home. Oh my gosh, are they both going to be playing with it? Um, so when I walked into my office this morning, I'm like, oh, yep, that feels about right. That's kind of like how what my brain feels like after coming out of this like um, deep depression is, and now I'm going to like go through and clean everything up. And this is also kind of the opportunity that we have with eclipses. Eclipses are going to like bring stuff up to the surface and give us a chance to clean it out and clear it out. So I personally find that like when I am not feeling mentally okay, I mean, of course you don't have the energy to clean, but it's just like sometimes I just look around and I'm just like, how did this chaos like happen? And it's like that's what happens within my brain as well, but it's also reflected in my environment. And I find that when I clean up the environment, that was actually one of the first things that I did. And I might actually just make a video about like all the things that like brought me out of that deep hole. Um, I've got a big mess to clean up, like physically and mentally. But like when one of the first things I did was I was just like, okay, I can't get anything done in this state because I'm just feeling like so overwhelmed and chaotic. So I just cleaned my house. Like I opened the windows, I dusted, I vacuumed, believe it or not, I I did clean. And then at the end of the day, I like went to the grocery store and I was like, I was ready to cook this meal, and I felt just like by the evening time, I was like, okay, tomorrow is another day. We can just have a good, healthy meal because I do also notice that if I'm, when I'm stressed, I'm not eating properly, or if I'm not eating at all. Um, so I find that like having nourishing food versus the junk food that you're reaching for comfort, I it does help to pull you out of that because you're nourishing your body. Exercise as well helps. But anyways, that is why I left the state of my office like this, to point that out, that our outside surroundings do are reflected in are reflective of our mental state. Um, I'm not sure why Aries reminded me of that. Oh, I guess just I was gonna say that Aries is bursting, like spring is bursting, and then I took a look at the background and I was like, oh yeah, maybe I should explain this mess back here. Okay, so Aries is springtime. Everything's bursting and ready to go. We've hibernated over the winter and contemplated and you've planned, and now springtime is time to take the action. Aries is the action sign. It's a fire sign. And we will be in Aries for Monday and Tuesday of this week. And that another thing about this deluxe moon app is that I just always know like when um, oh, is it this one that doesn't have? One of the ones that I use has the time on it, so I always check to see the time when when we will be moving into Taurus. Um, but I think it's going to be like pretty early in the morning, Tuesday morning, because we'll be in Taurus Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for the full moon, and the moon will actually be moving into Gemini not that long after the full moon. Um, but so Monday and Tuesday is a good time to take action on things. I also like to, if you have a lot of fire and you need to burn off that excess energy, I always try to do cardio to just burn off that excess fire energy on fire days. Then for Wednesday, we kind of cool off a little bit or come back down to the earth, whereas you may have been like running and moving and going. Uh, Taurus energy is more about it's an earth sign. It's more about creating stability and foundation. Taurus energy uh, is ruled by Venus. So it's like the things the tangible things that we love. I'm almost kind of, this is like something that I've kind of started just because the last couple months, despite my mental health and like I usually do Virgo and Capricorn days for like paperwork and stuff, but I'm also kind of finding that Taurus is a good day for like budgeting and accounting, and so, because it has to deal with that like physical, tangible uh, things that we love. I mean, we love to hate money. We have a love hate relationship with money, right? So I'm also kind of that's just something that I'm kind of playing around with because I haven't been able to get the things I usually get done on Virgo and Capricorn days. That like Taurus is ending up being one of those days that kind of falls, and it's like, well, it's now or never. Um, but it's kind of ending up working out. It's like um, figuring out how you can budget more things that you love into your life, I guess is kind of how it's been working out for me. And that's just something that I've just been discovering. I don't know if that like works for everybody. But typically I do like um, it is a good day to like rearrange things, like rearrange your furniture, rearrange your office so that you're pleased and happy with your environment so that you're able to be more productive. Um, And then we have the full moon eclipse um, on Friday. So I'm so confused with because I've been in 2023 for like the last 6 months or whatever. So I'm so confused that 2023 has the has I don't know how to mute that. I'm sorry. 2022 will have the times of the full moon and the new moon. Um, so I'm like, it's supposed to be here. Where is it? But I use astroseq for the times. The one thing I know I've mentioned astroseq before, but the one thing you really have to be careful with this website is that it always defaults to GMT time. So make sure that you are putting your yeah, see it's UT GMT time. So changing it to your local time zone, they have a little space bar there for you to type in and it automatically will pull up your location and then you click set time zone. So again, this is also it'd be great if they had an app. They should develop an app because I'm always pulling up this website. So it will tell you like the current moon phases, but then the whole chart down here has so the full moon is at 3:57 p.m. They have another page that will show that shows the lunar eclipse time as well. Maybe I think it's the if you do astroseq full moon new moon phases. Oh, whoops! I clicked on it. So 3:57 p.m. is when the full moon is, and I'm not. They have another page that will tell you what time the eclipse is as well. So that's Friday the 19th. Um, and we have our little there's a tarot spread for this is my shadow, this is my light, and how I can integrate them together. I'm definitely going to be working with this spread this week because um, my shadow has reared its ugly head. So don't forget to like read these descriptions. We're also moving into Sagittarius next week. We'll talk about that on Monday. Um, so this is it. Like this is the end of Scorpio season, and we get a nice grounded, stable Taurus moon eclipse to um, close it out, close out Scorpio season. So hopefully, uh, whatever the energies are that you're working with, you'll be able to integrate them together and not have these times where you're just feeling so like out of control. Um, Again, I personally don't charge any crystals. The energy kind of feels chaotic. This is more it's a full moon, but it feels more like a new moon. So it's more of a reflective time, and an integrating time versus like an outward celebration kind of full moon like we usually have. And I mean basically it's because I mean the moon is not illuminated during a lunar eclipse. Um, so if you are doing any releasing, it's a really good time to do that, um, as well as for the remaining of the waning moon phases. So Saturday, after the full moon, we move into Gemini, and that will be a waning crescent Gemini moon. So the light is decreasing, and we're slowly making our way towards the new moon. Gemini likes to have fun. Gemini. If you know any Gemini people, they are usually very, very funny, and they just like to have a good time. So it's really nice to have a Gemini moon on the weekends just to like kick back and relax. We're getting ready for like most of you probably have short weeks next week due to the holiday. I forgot to put that Thanksgiving was in there. Um, so we start out the week with fire, we move into earth, and then we close out the week in air. So air, um, Gemini is a very communicative sign. It's ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication, playful, having fun. But again, on Gemini days, I feel Gemini is very, if there's anything that like you need to talk out or anything that comes up during the eclipse, that you need to talk about, you need to let go of. Maybe in this, if you don't have anybody to talk to about these things, journaling it in a journal, like getting that out. Like Gemini wants to communicate. And by writing things down, sometimes you're able to like understand like the chaos that's going on inside of your brain. Um, so fire, earth, and air this week. And then next week we'll start off with water. Um, so early in the beginning of the week, like take action on things, get things done. The in the middle of the week, we're kind of staying grounded, um, so in case the eclipse energy is a little chaotic. And then Gemini just kind of playing around, like taking things very lightly this week is kind of the how I approach eclipse season is it's just like one step at a time, especially with how I've been feeling lately. So if you are in the Facebook group, this is the deck that we're using this week. I've already picked my cards. It feels really good to work with this deck. It used to be like I used to use this deck every week for years. It just makes me feel better to know that I've got an animal spirit buddy walking alongside of me, and I hope it helps you, helps your week as well. So make sure to comment on that Facebook post it's just a Facebook group. And I'll see you next week. Thank you again for all of your support while I go through this chaos over here. And hopefully by the time you see me next time, I'll have it all cleaned up. And then we'll be ready for the new moon and I can crash and burn into a dark hole again. So it's just a phase, it's just a cycle. Thank you again for your support, and I'll see you next week.